Well, the battle at our southern border tonight reached a boiling point.
President Trump said he will close the U.S. Mexico border next week. It's part of his administration's plan to stem the flow of undocumented immigrants. KCAL 9 political reporter Dave Bryan has the latest for us tonight. Dave?
This episode has border wall written all over it at this point, with rumors swirling that another caravan of immigrants is heading north toward the border to escape violence and corruption in Central America. President Trump is demanding that Mexico stop them in their tracks and keep them away from the U.S. border, or else, he says, he'll order the border to be shut down.
So there's a very good likelihood that I'll be closing the border next week.
Still hoping to whip up a wave of anger against undocumented immigrants and asylum seekers across America, President Trump brought out the political heavy artillery, threatening multiple times on Friday to shut down the border with Mexico altogether for an extended period if Mexico doesn't stop the refugees before they get to the border.
So Mexico's tough. They can stop them, but they chose not to. Now they're going to stop them. And if they don't stop them, we're closing the border. They'll close it, and we'll keep it closed for a long time. I'm not playing games. Mexico has to stop it.
And of course, he tweeted about this being Mexico's job. If Mexico doesn't immediately stop all illegal immigration coming into the United States from our southern border, I will be closing the border or large sections of the border next week. President Trump is now putting on a full-court press to rally the border wall issue, charging that the new numbers from what critics charge is the politicized Border Patrol and Customs, more than 268,000 border apprehensions already this year, and more than 76,000 of them in February alone, an 11-year high. Adding fuel to the fire, Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen warned of a system-wide meltdown and asked for the authority to quickly deport unaccompanied Central American children to their families and home countries because, she says, they have no legal basis to be in the country. But an analyst with the Migration Policy Institute says that's simply nonsense.
The problem is the big flows we're seeing right now are families. They aren't unaccompanied children, so that change won't actually address today's flows.
And the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee accused Nielsen, the Homeland Security Secretary, of trying to confuse and mislead the public. Democrats charge Secretary Nielsen is making a very bad situation at the border even worse.
Everything good?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Santa Ana restaurant owner Sammy Montoya says closing the border with Mexico would work a serious hardship on many Americans, as well as Mexican residents who work in the U.S.
The main part, I think, it's people that work on this side, that live on the other side. That's the ones going to be very affected. We have a lot of trucks that come here to deliver stuff. So how are they going to come in?
Now, the Washington Post is reporting tonight that the U.S. Chamber of Commerce says closing the border would be an unmitigated economic debacle that would threaten 5 million American jobs. As a measure, the chamber says the U.S. and Mexico trade about $1.7 billion in goods and products every day. So, Jeff, there could be some serious repercussions, to say the least.
Certainly so, David. Thank you so much.